So this is the second part of the videos on what is a function. I'm going to start by looking at one more example before we then go on to the definition of a function. So here's an example here where I've got my domain and my range here, and you can see if we look at individual numbers, you can see that -2 goes to 4, but also 2 goes to 4. So there are two input numbers in this domain that goes to one output number. And again, after some consideration, you would realize that this is the function f of x equals x squared. When x is -2, then -2 squared is 4. And also when x is 2, then 2 squared is 4. So you can see that this is definitely going to be the function f of x equals x squared. Now, the definition of a function, if we just go on to look at that now, then the definition of a function is a rule that takes you from one set of numbers to another. So it takes you from the domain to the range. Each individual number of the domain can only go to one number in the range. So this is the second part of the definition that we haven't referred to yet. Each individual number of the domain can only go to one number in the range. If we look back at the last example, that's fine. Each individual number only goes to one number in the range. 1 goes to 1, -1 goes to 1. Let's look at an example where we have something that doesn't work in that way. So here I've got a mapping diagram, and you can see that an individual number in the domain goes to two numbers in the range. 4 goes to -2 and 2. And this, if we were going to represent it in function notation, would be f of x equals plus or minus the square root of x. So if you take f of 4, then plus or minus the square root of 4 gives you plus or minus 2. But we cannot call this a function because of the definition. One number in the domain goes to two numbers in the range. Now let's have a look at the graph of this particular thing, this object. Again, I'm not going to call it a function. If you look at the graph of this, then as you can see, when we have an input of 4, we have an output of 2, but we also have an output of -2 as well. And when you look at a graph of a function, we have something called the vertical line test. And if we draw a vertical line, let's say we draw a vertical line through the point x equals 4, so that would be the line x equals 4. If we draw a vertical line, then we can see that that line cuts this curve at 2 points. And if a vertical line cuts a curve in 2 separate points, then it is not a function. So that's really it for the definition of a function, and hopefully that helps you to figure out what a function actually is. Thanks a lot. Bye.